Hey there, Dave. Welcome to the Color Cinema, and I'll start off by first off thanking everybody that contacted me over the last 24 hours because the overwhelming support and like concern that I got from people was incredible, and I want to let you know that I feel blessed to know you guys. Hey, Roy, and touched by everything that was everybody wanted to reach out to ask how scared I was doing. Um, we had a pretty scary 24 hours. Other stuff happened afterwards that was that I can't talk about. But I just realized my microphone's all the way over there, so if you could hear me, you probably have really good hearing. So I apologize. Um, so anyway, hey there, cinematic collector. Thank you so much, by the way. Uh, I want to thank everybody. Right now, Scaredy is on his second day of Heather Bryan of medication. He's they're really big pills, so we're putting him in these like if you got animals, you know this. There's these pockets, those those like pocket things you can put in like those. They're like different flavors and stuff. But we're putting the pockets within like his within wet food, and the cats normally have dry food because we have to give them special ESO food. So it's gonna be expensive. Hey there, Cinematech. Thank you. So he has been very good at taking his medication because he loves the wet food. Pill packs are definitely a lifesaver. And he's been on it for 2 days now. I've been like checking. And let me just do one thing really quickly. Uh, Thank you, Craig. You guys have been awesome, and you've kept me going during the pandemic too. So we've been helping each other. Tonight, I want to do a video on like something very kind of very positive because the last couple of days have been very stressful. um, but what I decided to do was to get a bunch of movies that just made me or that made me happy in 2020. Hey there, Vince. Now they didn't have to have come from 2020. They could have came from years back, but they're movies that I watched this year or like things that I've fallen back on. Hey there, Mary, or that like just really meant a lot to me, just like all you guys did, and thank you, like everybody that reached out to me, from from Flip and friend Matt and so many others, and Vanessa and Nate and all the guys from like Sam that reached out to ask like how things were going, how the cat how scared he was doing. Uh, there was we had a bit of a scare again this morning on another way with so uh, just be really ha- go day by day, be happy, and hug your family because it's important. You never know. Hey there, Eddie. But let me just check one thing and I'll be right back. It's kitty related. So then we'll get into the list. Don't worry, I'm only gonna be on a second. I'll explain. All right. The gorier part of all this is that when your cat is like older, especially if you have a male cat, then one of the things that you have to watch out for is UTIs, is urinary tract infections, is what it stands for. And they are more serious the older the cat is. So one thing I can say is that that's one of the things you have to look for. So if you've got a cat, especially a male cat, hey there, Chris. Look in the litter for like signs of blood, stuff like that. Try to catch it as fast as you can. Now that my cat's on medication, I do have to still look in the litter. There's the gory details what I have to do just to make sure that it's not showing up again and make sure that the medication is working. Your Ronin Flicks pre-Black Friday sale package arrived today. Nice, Warlock. That's awesome. I had an awesome time with Nathan doing that interview. I was very nervous. You know how nervous that I was? I lived in Mississauga like for over a year, and yet when I and it's Ontario for those that aren't Canadian, uh, and yet when I'm doing the interview, the conversation, I literally say Alberta, Mississauga. Now I did live in Alberta, like 4 years down the road, but Mississauga is very, very far from Alberta. Just, just so you know. Thank you, Brian. And by the way, Brian does two amazing podcasts. He does Just to This podcast and Pure Cinema, as well as doing a Just to This YouTube channel, which, by the way, he he works his butt off on. So make sure you check that out. For my Crimson Cult members, for my Patreon members, and for the people that super chat supported me yesterday, you can know that stuff is all going towards like the kitty cat and bills this month. So thank you so much for that. I 100% appreciate it. Some people reached out in other ways and asked if they could help. I just didn't feel like I didn't want to put anybody out. It's near Christmas, so that's I just wanted to get that out of the way. But thank you so much. Uh, any more StreamYard videos coming up? I love the StreamYard videos. I do try to space them out, Cinematech, because you only get 20 hours a month for like a StreamYard video. Hey there, Dirk, who also has a great podcast called VHS Us. VHS, right? I always pronounce it wrong. That's like I always say AGFA instead of AGFA when it should be AGFA. So the Kingdom's having their winter sale. Apparently, I was reached out to by a guy by a good friend of mine on Facebook that said if that Unobstructed View and Sunrise Records are both having a Kino sale uh, are right now. So if you have more money than I do, then definitely, and you're Canadian, something that you should check. You should definitely check out. It's Kino's put a lot of great stuff over the years, and a lot of stuff that's been kind of like been there for me when I'm kind of down. So I'm going more positive. Hey, welcome, Michael. So I get the famous guys on here, like the Bryans and the Michaels and the Dirks. So that's always good. Um, did you say you called me Albert? Because if you did, man, that totally passed me by. Uzu films make you happy. So I got a bunch of films here that make me happy, and they're different stuff from different times, different periods. Some of them you may dig, maybe your jam and stuff. Other things, I've been there. I'm like, we're in Canada, it's totally legal. By the way, I watch Screen Rant a bit, so always let us know when you're in here what videos that you're doing, because I want to keep up with that stuff. I know that Ryan George who's Canadian and works with Screen Rant as well. So see, I do keep up with my YouTube stuff. I'm the old guy here, man. All right, so stuff that makes me happy. Hopefully we'll find something here that makes you happy, or something that you're interested in. You guys can like jump in with your type of stuff that interests you. Uh, Actually, I tried to stay like not like all Vinegar sending me stuff. George, I wish I was Ryan George too, because super easy, barely inconvenience has to be the greatest tagline that I wish I thought of. Holy crap! Yeah, I know. I got that one queued up to watch tonight when I go to bed. Um, that's my nighttime watch. All right, so the first one that I read a lot about films as well. I do actually. My father, who's like a really big cinema buff, always says he doesn't know what to get me, movie wise. So he always gets me a book every year. So he gets me a cinema book year. So one year was a Troy Haworth book on Mayor Bava. There was another year that he got me a John Carpenter at the movies, like the pretty much like a cinema book. Monsters at the movies is another one as well. So there's yeah, I get a lot of like movie books, and I'm a big like reader. So that's always been a big thing there. So first up is one that maybe a lot of people weren't into, but I actually dug this one. So this is a Mad Magician. So it's kind of like House of Wax in a couple ways. One, it's filmed in 3D. 3D is actually pretty good. But it stars Vincent Price, and it stars Vincent Price as a guy that gets screwed over, and like they say in that also famous movie, we all go a little mad sometimes, and the Mad Magician literally goes mad. I did hear about the indicator and that, because I will be talking about those later actually. So this is actually really cool. If you haven't checked it out, I know that it was put out by hey there, Elvin. By thank you. By Twilight Time back in the day with the 3D release as well. Now I'm not sure if Twilight Time had the Three Stooges shorts on there as well, but there are two like Three Stooges shorts, and by the way, these are done in real 3D. So if you got a 3D TV or PlayStation VR or something along that lines, or maybe an Oculus Rift, then you're cool. You're down with it. Uh, so it's got the 2D release and the 3D release. So you can watch not just the Mad Magician, but you also watch the Three Stooges short Spooks and Part of My Backfire, all in 3D. Hey there, Jason. Welcome, man. Scaredy is resting upstairs on the bed tonight. And for those that I'm not sure if I'll be able to like show you guys well or not. I'm gonna try to uh, because he's a quieter kitty cat. And maybe if I can actually, what's the word? The thing I need to do first. Let's bring down the on here. But there is Scaredy right there. He is resting right now, as you can tell, which is a picture I took. Actually, a picture I took of him not too long. Well, actually, I took that picture a couple days ago, and that was just before we knew that he got sick. But that's what he's doing right now. He's resting like that. If I'm reading many comics lately, comics are my reprieve when I'm not watching films, Chris. I read a lot of comics, a lot of Batman recently. But definitely, if you have not checked this out, uh, he is 16 years old. All the What happened initially, basically, is my better half long before I knew her. She was in university, and she had signed up to like sponsor like a cat. Basically, if somebody had come in with some strays or something like that, that she would take care of them until they could find them a good home. So in the middle of the night, she got a knock on the door, basically saying that there were five cats that there were four cats, sorry, that had been found under a no, there's more. There's five. There's because they were found under like a bridge that they were pretty much abandoned, and they've been there for a little bit. So they're still like kittens. So they said, "Can you take care of these two? Like we got homes for the other two and the girl cat." So the next night, I think around like around maybe 11 or 12 o'clock at night, again late at night, she gets a knock on the door again. And basically they said like the girl cat is taken care of, but the two boy cats, their home fell through at the last minute. Can you please take care of them? Uh, Not really. Aristocats is kind of different. They were rich, man. Um, but can you take care of these other two cats as well? And she was like, I'm only a university student and I have a lot of money. They said, don't worry, we'll help you with it. Take care of the cats and stuff like that. Just take care of them for a couple of weeks. So anyway, she kept the cats. Weeks went by, months went by. She grew very attached to them. And at the time, she only had like a contract, like just to, so if somebody had come along and said, okay, we want the cats at that point, they would have been able to, she would have had to give the cats. So eventually, it was a year or two later, one of the cats actually got sick because he needed to be fixed. And the doctor said that if she couldn't get it done, that unfortunately the cat may not have made it. So what they did at the time, she was in Morocco, and it was her friend that told her. So when she got back, they had a birthday party for her, kind of an early birthday party, and all of her college friends came in and they gave in donations to get the cat done. So that is and she's had the cats ever since then. And of course, we adopted another cat a few years back. Unfortunately, she's the one that passed last year. She had a heart attack. So we have three cats right now, and we love them dearly. They are Scaredy, otherwise known as Basil. That's his real name. We have Hubert, and we have Bruno. They're all 16 years old. They're all from the same litter, and they all have their own personalities. So I hope it didn't bore you, but I'll just answering the question. But definitely, Mad Magician, worth picking up. You're going to see some stuff from all over here, like things that are going to go back and forth. So next up is one that I do. I have like the DVD of Tourist Trap. I have not yet picked up the. I think I had Blu-ray at one point, and I lost it because we had like a flood in a downstairs area. But I think the Blu-ray was cut. But again, it's. I do love Tourist Trap. It's a great movie. Chuck Connors, and of course, one of the Tanya Roberts. Is it Tanya Roberts, or is it the other one from Charlie's Angels? I know there's a Charlie's Angel in it, so that was something that I enjoyed. So really, really good movie. If you haven't seen Tourist Trap, check it out. It's definitely my bag, man. As are you serious? I'm a huge Only Fools and Horses fan, dude. Lovely Jubbly. I know Only Fools and Horses. New bear release for Tourist Trap is on out next week in Canada. Hopefully, I'll get it by sometime next year. I love this. I know this is cheesy. I know a lot of people like probably passed on this one. This was probably the least thought this is Scream Factory box set release, but I really dig these films. I would love to see like a Cruel Intentions like actual box set release, not like the 3 pack that I got right now on a DVD, but an actual like good release with features. Unfortunately, they didn't give this a lot of features. I was a big fan of the original Poison Ivy, and but I'll be honest with you, I liked the other ones as well. I am one of those people that like the sequels, especially the cheesiest one, which is the Secret Society. And yes, there are very cute girls in all these films, and yes, there is the prerequisite nudity, um, because yeah, but there are films that I watch on like on a not on a regular basis, but that I do watch them every once in a while. As young teen in the '90s, I didn't grow up, John, so I don't know, still I'm still along that line. That I still watch those style films. Next up is another Scream Factory release, and it is the Paul Naschy Collection Volume 2. I love Paul Naschy stuff. Of course, this is something that comes to me from my dad. I was speaking to him earlier on tonight. He's actually, speaking of cats, he's actually babysitting a kitten this weekend. So that's kind of cool. So here is there are 5 Paul Naschy films on here. There's The Hunchback of the Morgue, which is actually way better than it sounds. Dragonfly for Each Corpse, The Devil's Possessed, Exorcism, and again another great one, and Where from the Yeti. I love that as well. Actually, I love all these films. I'm not like it is a really cool set. I love Paul Naschy, and I would really love to have the first volume. Unfortunately, it's harder to find here in Canada, and when I find it, it's usually super expensive. One of these days, one of the things on my dream list is the Paul Naschy Collection, Volume 1. Hey there, Richard. Uh, it is it is a hard thing to do, man. I had to do it, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. They can break your heart, man. But I wouldn't I don't regret any second that I had with them. Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised it wasn't Cruel Intentions box set. I actually really do like the Cruel Intentions series. One of my friends used to call me Sebastian. There's a whole story behind that, which I'm not going to get into here because I'm not sure it's going to like portray me in the right light. Just, but yes, one of my friends called me Sebastian, and that was their nickname for me, and there was a reason for that. And it wasn't that I got hit by a car. Hopefully not. Anyway, all right. This one's going to be my good friend of mine that's on here tonight, actually, I think. And it is one that it's a film that I love. Total Villains. See, there you go. You say that to watch your back, Michael. Us Canadians. See, we seem so polite. We seem so disarming with our apologies and our and our quiet talk, but in actuality, Shifty-eyed supervillains. I could never work for a vet like that. That would be killer for me. I had a friend who was like that. Like she was going to grow up. She was going to be a vet. That's what she was going to do. And she went there for like a couple of days, like to check it out when we were in like high school. And she said no. And then she went off. She did something else anyway. Um, but that was her initial thoughts. Shivers. Thank you, Craig. By the way, this is a bloody good film. I love this film. It's one of, and in my opinion anyway, the great Cronenberg films. And I know there's movies like The Fly and stuff like there as well, which I do love. But Shivers, Rabid, those two films really, really have like a great a place in my heart. Maybe it's where I'm Canadian. I grew up with these films. They came on TV a lot. Um, it was Try the World. There we go. And apologize. We're sorry. Isn't that like the perfect thing though? Like when you really, that's the perfect cover. And this has a audio commentary with Cronenberg on it that I'm super excited to listen to. I still got to listen to that, although I did actually take a peek at it. See, like that's the thing. Like Shivers and Rabbit are a perfect double feature, and for me, like this is the best of Cronenberg. Like he goes on to his great stuff with like with Crash, and you got like The Fly, and they're all amazing, and they're all more polished than Shivers are. They're all more polished than Rabbit is, but there's just something kind of like there's some kind of special kind of like creepiness and eeriness, and there's like, and not to mention Lynn Lowry is in Shivers, and she is gorgeously stunning. And when she, in the pool sequence there in the end, with Lynn Lowry like kind of standing up in the pool, as young Aaron, that was something that that just blew my mind. There was an awakening for me right there. I'll tell you that much right now. Bug, bug would creep me out. I'm not. I'm arachnophobic, just so you guys know. I don't like insects at all, really. And now his son is making homework. I still got to see that. Possessor is something really, really good. People keep telling me that I need to see it. I do. I do need to see it. Another film that made me happy this year. This, this came out this year. I never thought this was going to come out, man. One, I did not expect Cruel Jaws to ever come out on Blu-ray. Two, I did not expect it to come out with the Jaws 5 cover. Three, I did not expect it to come out with a novelization, with an ultra sleazy novelization. Oh wow! Hey there, Flip man. Thank you so much, by the way, um, for a chat today. I was at work at the time. I wish I could have chatted with you more. Uh, but this one here, this this is a film that just makes me happy. It is so there's so much to the film, and it's so fun and just cheesy, and there's just so much taken. It's like it's lifted from so many other films, from soundtracks and scenes, and they even got a guy that's like done up to look like Hulk Hogan. Um, it is the epitome of like the if you want to say like you've seen like Shocking Dark, and maybe you saw like a Robo War, but you want to see the one that really encompasses the whole like Italian knockoff genre. It's really oh Universal did so not approve of this. No, that's why it was very limited. That's why it was covered over when you before you bought it. It was like they didn't put up Jaws 5 on there. They just put a little thing there. Just watch Deep Blood and Last Shark to see what was cited for. Good, yeah, smart move. All right, these next four are ones that I'm excited to have, that I'm glad I got, and I'm glad I grabbed them before they went out of print. Like Terminator, and these were put up by Vinegar Syndrome, and they're probably for the sets that I watched the most, to be honest with you. And these are the 5 films, 5 year sets. So as you guys know, I've been covering Vinegar Syndrome for 5 years. So no surprise that when these sets were announced, I definitely had to grab them. So these were the ones that were done for the anniversary. You can buy the Cruel Jaws novelization. I think you still can, Matthew, on the Severin website. So check that when it comes back up. Not quite sure. I didn't check their sale this time around. Have a great night, cinematic collector man. Hopefully, work is more pleasurable for you than it was for me today. But I gotta say, my I reached out to my boss at work because I was having a very stressful day, and he was very very nice. So like, all props to him for that. I think that everything that I wanted to be in Graphies was in that set. Did I get the Looney Tunes 80th anniversary? Unfortunately, I could not. Hopefully down the road. So just to let you guys know that maybe that like didn't grab these sets when they came out. They did 4 sets. They were done for like the anniversary year. Maybe Warlock to do like 10 films 10 years down the road. Uh, but so this here, they were extremely popular. They went really quickly, and one of the reasons is because they were very very modestly priced, which was a real surprise. So this one here, as this is the first one, this is an exploitation one. It has some of their best, like kind of more best their adult and erotic cinema films. I'll love to have the Bugs Bunny set again on my wish list. So Two Naughty Say No, which again directed by Suze Randall, Ginger Lynn. I love Ginger Lynn. Harry Reams is in this as well. Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls, one of my favorite Bob Chin films. What's one of your favorite releases? Graveyards of Horror, Sukamoto box set, and the Bruce Lee set. Amazing sets, and ones that I really want. Eventually, one of these days, I'll get. Hopefully, I'll get the other sets. Because they'll, if they don't sell out, I'll get them. If not, then I'll grab them on the secondary market, and I'll be like on a street corner somewhere. That's what'll happen. Um, but amazing stuff. Bold Tales of Canterbury, which is a Bud Lee one. Again, another Bob Chin, a very different Bob Chin film called Prisoner of Paradise, which by the way, I do a series on my Patreon channel called Cinema After Dark, and these will be reviewed on there. And of course, Dixie Ray Hollywood Star. Their second volume, of course, was an exploitation one, so you got more action horror stuff on here. So if you don't like the adult stuff, uh, but if you do like the adult stuff, at least this is a good, tasteful way to own it, right? Like, there's nothing's going to show on the outside. We got the Mothers on here, which is Ciro Santiago. As you guys know, I'm a huge Ciro Santiago fan, as is my better half. We both dig Ciro Santiago stuff. We got Flesh and Bullets here with Carlos Tobolina. Hang Up with John Hayes. You guys know I'm a huge John Hayes fan. Dungeon of Hera with Pat Bayet, and of course, Murder on the Emerald Seas with Alan Ormsby directing. The guy that was supposed to direct Popcorn, but he got fired off the project. Then he put up Volume 3, which is right here, which has the classic Dracula film. Dracula sucks. I'm not joking. That's a film. Corporate Assets, much more of an adult film than the rest of them. Vixens of Kung Fu is a fun little film. Tropic of Desire, uh, that was a really good one actually with Georgina Spelvin. And Baby Rosemary is something that kind of stands out. And the last one for here, and I'll go through this really quick because I don't want to bore you guys, is Cry Wilderness, which if you watch the Mystery Science Theater when they brought it back, then then that one was on there. That's the Yeti film from that. Vampire Hookers, which is another Ciro Santiago film, very cheesy, very fun. Evil Come, Evil Go. The Cutthroats, another John Hayes film that I like, and I do have the limited edition DVD as well. And Teenage Seductress, which has Sandra Curry starring in it. And I don't think I've watched that one yet. It's the only one I haven't watched of all 4 of these sets. So there you go. We're going to go from that to something much more classy. And this one was not one that came out this year. It actually came around 4 years ago. But it's one that I got this year because it was sent to me by a viewer. And thank you so much. Because it's a favorite film of mine. And to get it in 4K was a huge deal. And that is Goodfellas. Goodfellas has a very special meaning for me. Uh, and I really, really do like enjoy this film. It's something that I can put on anytime. And ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a gangster. So this is filled with special features as well. There's like commentaries. There's all kinds of stuff. The Goodfellas Legacy, and it is a great release. I love Goodfellas, and this was a surprise gift from a viewer, and that alone made it like super special to me. But it's just one of my favorites. You should definitely check it out. It's a really good film, Jason. Like it gets its name for a reason. All right. Next up is the one that I watched with my cousin just before he went back to Newfoundland, and it's one that was sent to me by Mill Creek Entertainment. That was before I started reviewing stuff from Mill Creek. This was just sent by me like as like it was actually really nice of them. And this is an Andy Sedaris film, and I really enjoyed this. So this is Hard Hunted with Donna Spear and Roberta Vesquez. One of these days, Goodfellas will get its due. But here's a film, Michael. If you have not, and I'm sure you have, delved into the world that is the great Andy Sedaris, do so, because Andy Sedaris films will always make you happy. You're never going to come out of watching an Andy Sedaris film feeling like, man, where did those man? I really wish I had those 9 minutes back. No, these are fun. Uh, these are amazing. There's nudity. Little known fact. I like that in the film. There's action, and there's lots of explosions. There is acting, some good, some not so much. Uh, it well, there's 12 of them in the Mill Creek set. Like the Mill Creek Blu-rays spread out all together, and of course there's 7 by Kino Lorber. I can't think of any other ones, but that's the 13 I can think of right now. There's a Mill Creek 12 that Mill Creek Entertainment did on Blu-ray, and of course Kino put out 7 with Will Smith, which is an earlier like Andy Sedaris film, which is also I'm sure you got. But Hard Hunted is really really fun. It's got a great cast. Of course, it's got all the guys that and gals that are in all these films. Bruce Pennell is in here. Rodrigo Auberjonois, whose name I probably like really like butchered, but he fortunately passed away last year. But he was in pretty much all of the Andy Sedaris films. He actually shows up in L.A. Wars too. He's got a big part in L.A. Wars as kind of like a rival, like mob boss. So it was really neat to like actually see him a non Andy Sedaris film that he was in, and I got to see that this year, and that may or may not be coming up in the stuff that makes me happy. So we're headed back to some territory, not Vinegar Syndrome, nope, but close. What's my favorite in the series? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, they blend in. That to be bluntly honest with you, I do like as much as I like Pepper Moon and stuff like that. I do like the when the English guy takes over as kind of the main bad guy. I like him a lot. So Hard Hunted is definitely high up there, like as one of the ones that I actually really like. I love the way that was done. It had a really nice cast in there. It went really quickly. I like the whole storyline with the radio station and everything that was going on. It was just a fun film, and that I just really enjoyed. Savage Be I think your first is always going to be your favorite. That's the thing. And I don't know what my first was. I mean, I like when I started watching the Andy Sedaris films. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really like know at the time. Like it was, hey, is this Andy Sedaris? I didn't know. I mean, I just started picking them up because I was a younger guy and I liked films with action, like films with nudity. One singular film. One singular film. They could be one singular film. Uh, I start counting. I've spoke about this on here a couple times. It's a Fun City Editions release. It's their second release that they put out, and I'll say it again. This is one of my favorite films of 2020. My one of my great discoveries of this year. This really rocked it. It is not at all what people think when they're going in. People think that it's just going to be like this thriller, but it twists it around. It's a coming of age story and a thriller, and the coming of age story takes precedent. For some people, they were kind of like surprised. But yeah, there's a song. When you get a song in your head, man, it sticks in your head. And here's the thing: I get the song out of my head, then I pick up the release, and the song again in my head. What I think everything. I mean, like the performances, and I start counting everything from from Ward to Marshall, to Sam Ward to Brian Marshall, Jenny Agutter, like at 16 years old, did an amazing job. The one who played, and I'm sorry that I forget her name. She's passed on now, but the one who played her friend, who actually seems younger than her, but she's actually was actually several years older. Did a great job. There's like one great haunting scene at near the beginning of the film that I mentioned when I talked about this film before, and it is a beginning at the it's a scene at the beginning, doesn't give anything away, where the kids are like walking past, they're going to pass this lake, and we see the camera sweep like we see it sweep from the kids all the way across the lake, and then down into the lake, and we see the the we see the face of a dead girl that's been drowned and is in the lake. She'll be found later on in the film, and it's a great start to let you know kind of like what's coming, and it does have some great twists along the way that can surprise you. Like at times, I'm glad that they didn't go totally in the way that they could have went. It could have been extremely predictable, and I don't think it was. Speaking of movies that weren't at all what I thought they were going to be, Deadly Games. This movie was touted as Home Alone, like inspiration for Home Alone. So I was expecting a cheesier, kind of funny, kind of comedic Home Alone type film. So I get like a few minutes in, like so many minutes into the film, and then the scene with the dog happens. And from there on out, it's this tense, hot chase film, hide and seek type of chase film that is incredibly well done. I mean, it is extremely well shot. The music is incredible in this movie. There's this haunting, nightmarish Christmas song by Bunny Tyler, and I'll be honest, I hadn't seen this movie before. I thought I had, I hadn't at all. This was a complete new discovery for me. So a lot of people that were touting like how good it was, I was like, I'm gonna grab this one, but I'm not quite sure. So now I am. This is now one of my favorite Christmas movies, right up there with Black Christmas. It took you to get Santa to watch it. Well, actually, that's a cool idea. Is that a real thing? Because if it is, I would totally listen to that. All right, I got to give VSA some cred. And no, it's not gonna be Hell Riders. You got to meet Ginger Lynn. I would love to meet Ginger Lynn. I don't know what I'd say because I've seen so many Ginger Lynn films. I'd be like, thank you for puberty. Um, something along those lines. I was a huge Ginger Lynn fan, guys. Thank you, John, so much. You got a new username. I know. I like the username. It's not Dr. Jekyll, though. I think I do like Dr. Jekyll more than Michael does because I'll be honest with you. If I'm gonna go back and watch a VSA again, and somebody puts me in like a locked room, and they say, "You have a choice. You're gonna watch Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death, or you're going to watch like Hell Riders." I'm going to watch Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death before I watch Hell Riders. Yeah, not that I don't like Hell Riders, or they're both films of their ilk, but yeah, I think I'll get a bit more like out of that one. Fun films. That's how I felt, except with bikers, for Hell Riders. I mean, like I was like, there's this one scene in Hell Riders where Adam West does this incredibly kick-ass thing, and he grabs the guy, and I'm like, and he's like, I can help you out if you ask me nicely, and you do what I say. And it's a really cool scene, and Adam West is completely badass. It's only in that one scene, and then the rest of it is like it's a film. And why the heck in Hell Riders, for anybody that's seen it, why were the girls fighting over that mechanic guy? Because what the hell? Are you serious? Um, but there's one that I really, really did love with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's a bit on the nutty side. Hopefully, she got him before he was on the nuttier side. But I with the whole tiger blood thing. Savage Don's amazing. I love Savage Don. But L.A. Wars. This is the one. This one really grabbed me. Again, Andy Sedaris bad guys in it. So right there, you got me right there. Also, it gave me like kind of like samurai cop feel to it, but not on that level. I love the bad guy in this because he is so a bad guy. I mean, and it goes in ways that I kind of didn't expect because although he's like the guy that's like kind of the henchman becomes like the major bad guy, and that that was different because I was so used to like seeing the guy from the Andy Sedaris films come in. Now he then like has not as a, usually a major bad guy, but he's always stood out. He's always a scene stealer. I hope you like it, Craig. I really did enjoy this one. It's out of print, so if you don't, like, it's a going to be a pricey one now. The girl like to Die Hard. Die Hard's a good movie, man. And like there you got the guy. Like they actually show you the guys right there. I know what you. I can tell. Not so much good. Well, we know that the first VSA that's coming out for next year is the I think it's the House of bloody hell. Gonna get right. Not House of Usher. What is it again? I can't remember right now, but it's like it's the Edgar Allan Poe one. That's the first one for the year. House it is House of Usher. So there I'm like second guessing myself. Um, Scream Factory got on the list again, and it is Tales from the Dark Side. For me, this like Severin's coming out with like an anthology documentary there, and one of the things they asked was, "What's a perfect anthology film?" This this is a perfect anthology film. Sterling Entertainment is releasing the box set of things. That's got to be amazing. It's things on Blu-ray. I've only got the DVD from Intervision, Matthew. I don't know if it's ever gotten a Blu-ray release. So if Sterling Entertainment is putting it on Blu-ray, it's going to be the first time that I'm aware of that things has gotten a Blu-ray release. And by the way, if you really want to have cred in watching like bad movies, then you got to watch things. So that not only is this like for me like an excellent anthology film where all three stories work perfectly with it's a different thing series. Okay, because I know that he did like a series of films, which I was unaware of till later on. But this one here, uh, the wraparound is fantastic. The whole story's great. Great stuff here. A fantastic cast from Christian Slater. James Remar is amazing in this, playing against type. William Hickey. Of course, the amazing Steve Buscemi, who all the girls apparently had a crush on when they were filming this one. And there's a great like feature length documentary on the making of the film. You grab Prom Night. It's the best edition of Prom Night that is out there. I did a Patreon video where I challenged myself because I talk so much to give like uh my favorite like films in like for a company 5 films 5 minutes. So I did like, hopefully you enjoyed that, because I'll be doing more of those where I'm going to take in like different companies and I'm going to pick 5 films that I really like from them. I have 5 minutes to talk about them, show you the films, and tell you why I like them. So I started off with Synapse Films last night on my Patreon channel. And I did 5 films in 5 minutes. So Prom Night, spoiler, it was one of those for those who haven't seen it yet. This Killer Crocodile 1 and 2, I just dig these movies. I really enjoy these. They're fun. They're cheesy. You saw me with Cruel Jaws. You know that Killer Crocodile is one of those that's really up my alley. And I do like these Italian type films. And now throwbacks from like years past that I still like watch and I still like get have a lot of fun with. We'll start it with one that I think's out of print. Well, there's both these out of print, but they're actually really cool because you can get better editions of these films right now. You can get like 4Ks of some of these. But this is the Gates of Hell trilogy. This was the first Gates of Hell trilogy that I ever got. It was put up by Aerodrome, which is of course a subsidiary of Aero Films. Pretty much it's their kind of like their more budget range that they did at back in the day, and it has the City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery on there. Each of them comes in their own case. There's gets its own booklet. I'm a huge Fulci fan, so this is House by the Cemetery, The Beyond, and City of the Living Dead. I love this set, and it is like I do think it is a gorgeous looking set, and extremely well done. And this is the booklet that comes with the set. Is a gate set available? This set here, not that I know for, but I mean look online. But I bought this really early on when I started collecting Arrow stuff. By the way, these all have reversible covers too, which I think are kind of neat. This was a reason, by the way, that I got a region-free Blu-ray player. Even though these are DVD, I got a region-free Blu-ray player for this because I knew that if these were going to be an issue down the road, then think ahead, right? Always a favorite release of mine. I'm a huge Fulci fan. I don't have any of the Fulci films on 4K from Blue Underground yet. I do want to get those. I know I'm falling behind with some stuff, but this year's been one hell of a year, guys. Uh, and of course, one of my favorites. It looks like kind of like a Shining type cover on this one. Always reminds me, House by Cemetery. Like even though it has nothing to do with The Shining, the cover always reminds me kind of like the Shining type thing. So there you go, the Fulci 3-pack. And the last one is not going to be a big surprise to you guys because you guys know how much I love this director. I love his films, and it's something that usually has a big place in the background of a lot of my videos, and it's on purpose too, because I love these. I wish these films had like Blu-ray releases, 4K release. I know that the estate of this director has been. I need to get those 4Ks. Has been like really holding on tight to these films, and they put out their own like kind of bare bones releases on Blu-ray. But I really want to get like I want good releases of this set, and you guys know what it is. It's the Russ Meyer collection. I grew up loving the Russ Meyer stuff. I think Vixen was the first film I saw from Russ Meyer, and that starred Erica Gavin. And it was a whole rabbit hole that I went down after that. There was a channel that came on our I won't say what the name of it is, but there's a drive-in channel. There's a horror channel called Scream, and there's another channel that had another name on it that showed a lot of Russ Meyer stuff. So as did the drive-in stuff. So this was the Russ Meyer collection that was put up by Arrow Video. Really? Yeah. So this is one that a lot of people look at. So there were 2 editions of this put out. There's one that was a much bigger edition but had less films in it, and there was the slimline edition that had like more films. So there are like I think 19 films on here. Just to let you guys know, to break it down, The Moral Mr. Tease, Even the Handyman, Wild Girls of the Naked West, Black Snake, Europe in the Raw, Lorna, Mudhoney, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Motorcycle, Good Morning and Goodbye, Mondo Topless, Cherry Hair and Raquel. That's a favorite of mine. It's got Charles Napier in it. Common Law Cabin, Pandora Peaks, which is the one that's exclusive to this set that wasn't in the other set. Finders, Keepers, Lovers, Weepers, Vixen, Super Vixen, and of course the Insane Up and the equally insane, like Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. It's insanely priced, Michael. It is. When I bought this though, I lucked out. Arrow was have like they were having an Arrow sale on Amazon, and I was buying some Doctor Who DVDs of all things, and I wanted to make up enough because I didn't have Amazon Prime for the UK, right? So I wanted to make up enough money to get the free shipping. So this thing here, the box I'm holding in my hand right now, was $15 at the time. So I said, yeah, I'll add that on to get the free shipping. It should be fun. I've seen a few of these films. I really like them. There's like a ton of features on here as well. I would show you the box set. Hey there, Kay. But the booklet, I can show you very little of the booklet because obviously it is filled with. Let me see. Can I show you a picture? Okay, no, that's new D. That's new D. That's new D. Oh, hold on. There's got to be something on new. Like, are you serious? Can I get a poster of it or anything? No. There you go. There. Say, look, nothing new today. I can show you this on there. The rest of the pages, there, yeah, there's tons of nudity in this. But it's Russ Meyer. What do you expect, man? It's a 100-page booklet. There are features on here as well, by the way, including remember Jonathan Ross used to do this show about like cult films. So we did one on director Russ Meyer. That's included on here as well. There is some other commentaries on here for Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Vixen, Super Vixen, Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. There's an Erica Gavin photo album featured on Kid Natividad. There's an interview with her, interview with Russ Meyer by Jonathan Ross, was actually a TV show. I paid 15 at the time, which I guess was about like 25-ish or 20-ish, whatever, the 15 pounds. So I got lucky. I think it was like probably like around a month later, or maybe even less, that it went out of print. So I'm thinking that maybe they knew that it was going, and they just probably had to sell off what was there. So that was probably the reason that it was so cheap, was that they just had to get rid of all the stock, because Russ Meyer's estate are very very tight when it comes to his films. Arrow has been one of Arrow's dreams early on was to upgrade this set to a Blu-ray, put in a bunch of special features. Can you imagine, like, if Russ Meyer got the same treatment that Herschel Gordon Lewis got, or that Al Adamson or Ingrid Bergman got, Ingmar Bergman got? How mind blowing would that be to see like I got this DVD set. I tell you, in a second, in a heartbeat, I would grab that set. I think that most people that that are on this channel here, that would be a day one set. Uh, Aside from like I can't think of a. I'll be honest with you, I can't think of a director or a set that would excite me more. And I would love to see a Akira Kurosawa set come out, but I would probably be, God, this is me, be as more excited about Russ Meyer, although I would love to have them both. uh, as a set that came out. So there you go. Those are some of the Don Dolar, of course. Some of the movies. What about Beyond the Dolls? That's Criterion. That's one they wouldn't be able to get. It would sell as fast as Shock. It would definitely sell as fast as Shock and Gore. I was amazed that how fast Shock and Gore sold with the price that it was. But considering everything that was there, like I got the Cereal Box edition. I didn't get the Shock and Gore edition, which is incredible. But I'm not. I'm a Herschel Gordon Lewis fan, but I'm not a Shock and Gore Herschel Gordon Lewis fan. Is like I would have to have something that massive. Like that is something like if somebody gifted me Shock and Gore, I would amazingly love it. But I don't think I could pick up Shock and Gore as like a release that like with the price tag, even though it was completely worth the price tag that was on it, because the stuff, the work that was put into that was incredible, and I really wish that I had picked it up. But I'm just glad with the one I got. It was amazing. But yeah, Russ Meyer, I think, in my opinion, would go just as faster than a Shock and Gore set from Herschel Gordon Lewis. Because let's be honest, like as fun as Herschel Gordon Lewis is, there's a lot more films on Russ Meyer you're going to be watching over and over again. and over. Um, like Vixen. Vixen's a really good film. I enjoy that film. I enjoy it for its serious socio-political commentary. I just enjoy Vixen. Erica Gavin. I had a crush on Erica Gavin. Who did, like, it reminds me, like, anytime I think of the Russ Meyer films, I always think of that like thing from God, what film was that again? One of those skit films, like Catholic high school girls in trouble. I always think about that, like, because the Catholic high school girls in trouble, like, skit that they did with Amazon Women on the Moon. That's what it is. Always reminds me, like, I always think of Russ Meyer because I think that's one of Russ Meyer's girls is in like that like faux trailer. Um, but again, something that I truly love. Anyway, it's been a pleasure spending some time with you guys down here in the movie library tonight. My voice is going. My voice has been going the last couple of days. I'm a little bit sick, so I do apologize. But I did want to come and spend some time with you guys, and I want to thank you so much for reaching out and for all that you done. John, thank you so much. Uh, Super chat support means incredible amount to me. To my Patreon supporters out there, my Crimson Call, thank you. You're going to be seeing a lot more videos and content on the Patreon thing. So if you haven't subscribed, you're thinking about it, you don't have to do it now. I know it's Christmas time. Think about doing it in the future. Think about doing it like maybe after Christmas when things are calmed down. Um, but guys, I am Aaron. You are the cult of cinema. And I am very lucky and blessed to be able to reach out and talk to you guys. Have a great evening. Go look around and find some films. Go watch a film that kind of makes you feel warm and cool and happy. Because these films do it for me. They make me feel happy. And in a crazy, crazy year, it's good to have a film like that. See you soon.